Hundreds of weapons are collected during Dane County's first ever gun buyback event. Why critics say the event wasn't as successful as officials believe. Plus, a new school year begins in just a few weeks. The Madison School District changing its COVID guidelines for students, what parents should know. And President Biden signs a landmark climate, health, and tax bill into law. What experts say about the possible impacts of the measure. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Well, you can take a good look at all the guns on that table, covering the table in the sheriff's office basement today. Dane County deputies collected hundreds of them. That was during Saturday's gun buyback event. In total, 577 weapons were turned in. That includes 333 long guns like rifles and shotguns, 95 handguns, along with 93 pellet, BB, and paintball guns, along with 55 homemade weapons. That includes 3D printed guns. People also turned in 380 pounds of ammunition. Tahlil Mohadeen joins us now with more on the details here. Tahlil?
Eric, the Dane County Sheriff's Office thinks that collection was so successful they're already talking about holding another one. But critics view that as a waste of their time and your money. Behind a table filled with guns and weapons, Sheriff Calvin Barrett shared two feelings today: satisfaction
will never be used in a crime to hurt someone,
and surprise.
We did not expect this amount of weapons, this amount of relevant weapons.
577 weapons, to be exact, collected in a 4-hour period at the Dane County Sheriff's Office first ever Guns for Gift Cards event Saturday. People arrived in more than 200 cars, receiving gas and grocery gift cards. No questions were asked.
This effort focuses on the front end, the proactive side of it, by taking those potential weapons out of the hands of those who could be committing those crimes.
But Detective Anthony Hamilton, who's currently running to replace Barrett as sheriff, says some of these weapons could eliminate leads in open cases.
He's trying to do something that has perhaps feel-good connotations. Certainly, a lot of people like the idea of fewer guns on the street, but it has absolutely zero effect on crime.
Still, those responsible for approving the $50,000 used to run the county initiative are calling it a success.
For us, it was the message that we care, and we're doing what we can with a very complex issue.
Dane County Board Supervisor Rick Rose says the effort also helps continue the conversation about gun violence.
I guarantee on the way to drop off the gun and on the way back, families and friends could engage in conversation about the importance and the metaphor of turning in a gun.
The Sheriff's Office handed out more than $43,000 worth of gift cards. Recipients donated more than $1,000 worth of it right back. And police plan to destroy the weapons, turning some into garden tools.
Tahlil, thank you. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast now. Julian Seawright joins us out on the weather patio. Julian?
That's right. We have another gorgeous day on tap for us as we're out here on the weather patio. And taking a look at how we stacked up for today. Cloud cover, not a whole lot of it. Much more sunshine in abundance throughout much of southern Wisconsin. But we do have some areas, especially towards the west, who are still holding on to some clouds that were on a lower level. But today, 78 degrees was our high. Pretty close to normal around this time of year, which is around 80 degrees for us. But folks, it is still just feels flat out great as we're into the late summertime. Taking a look around southern Wisconsin, 81 degrees in Janesville with 79 degrees in Platteville, and areas for Boscobel and Lone Rock into the 80s as well. And the good news is that the dew points are actually a lot lower than they were yesterday. As we take a look at the last 24 hours, we've seen a 6-degree decrease in for Madison, and for Janesville a 14-degree decrease along with Waukesha, which goes to show you that lake effect was actually lowering our dew points over the last 24 hours, making things even more comfortable as we kick off the rest of our Tuesday. Now tonight, we're looking for temperatures to be cool and comfortable and mostly clear as we kick things off for us. But taking a look at what we could see for Dane County, well, folks, we're going to be seeing those mid to upper 50s, and areas to the far northwest could see about the lower 50s as well. But overall, tonight is going to pan out to be just a gorgeous one for us. It's dry for right now. That's one of the biggest stories for much of this week. But folks, we're tracking something that will be bringing in some wet and cool conditions heading into the weekend and could interrupt some of our great football plans. So we'll take a look at that in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Eric.
All right, Julian, thank you. A Madison police officer likely saved a woman's life last night. The Madison PD says the officer gave her Narcan after she overdosed on drugs. We know opioids are a growing problem, but figuring out just how bad it is recently. That's a bit of a moving target. Andrew Banstra joins us down in the news center with what he found out today. Andrew?
Yeah, Eric, 2 times this year, Public Health in Dane County has put out an overdose alert. The most recent was a few weeks ago when there were 7 overdoses in 24 hours. That's the data we have, but we're still waiting on bigger picture data. The latest numbers of overdoses and deaths in Dane County and Madison come from 2020, almost 2 years ago. That year, more than 130 people died from overdoses in Dane County. Today, PHMDC and DHS told us that the most recent numbers that they have are preliminary data from 2020 and 2021, but neither could be released yet. Still, people who prevent overdoses locally know the truth, hard numbers or not.
I can tell you firsthand what we see on the front lines is that overdose is elevated, and that's due to carfentanil, and that's contributing greatly to the surge in overdoses that we're seeing in our community right now.
Fentanyl is proving to be the deadliest problem. Experts I spoke to said that with longtime drug users, even they're getting fooled by the fentanyl, and it can be laced in. The smallest amount can kill you. What I did find out today from the people that I spoke with are that overdoses are in fact going up each year in Dane County. Some fear a basic Narcan dose won't be enough to save some people. There is good news here, though. The state is set to receive $400 million in opioid settlement money, which will help pay for rehab, fentanyl test strips, Narcan, and educational campaigns. From the News Center, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Andrew, thank you. Madison Children's Museum's 7th vaccination clinic had a very young patient today. Florence Edwards Miller got her baby girl, Sylvia, vaccinated against COVID this morning. The baby got a severe case of COVID. That was about a month ago. She had to be put on steroids to help with symptoms. And now that Sylvia is 6 months old, Florence wanted to make sure to protect her daughter as best she could.
You know, at the Children's Museum, we really love being able to benefit families from not just educational play, but being a place that really gives them resources. And so being able to have a vaccination clinic, it's wonderful. The kids are comfortable here.
Sylvia and her family all recovered from COVID. Her mom said she is happy Sylvia was finally able to be vaccinated. Well, will they need to mask up or not? That is the big question that's been surrounding the start of the Madison school year. And just over an hour ago, we got an answer here. McKenna Alexander joins us in studio with the details on the district's newly released COVID safety plan. McKenna?
Yeah, just after 3 this afternoon, MMSD officials announced masks will be optional when school starts in just 2 weeks. Now, this comes after Milwaukee schools announced masks will be required this year. A doctor with SSM Health told me today that he didn't expect MMSD to enforce a mask mandate this school year. That's despite the CDC recommending schools in the high COVID category do so. And as of this week, Dane County is at that level. But if you're worried about your child and do want them to wear a mask this year, Dr. David Ottenbaker says to try and explain your concern to your child in a way that's age appropriate.
It comes down to that parent-child relationship. And I think you have to have different conversations, you know, for a 10-year-old as you do for a high school child. But again, trying to convince them that, you know, we want not to be ill, we want to be careful. But again, I think it's a balance of what is the right choice for the parent, for the child, and then for the situation that they're in.
Dr. Ottenbaker adds it's still critical to get your student vaccinated before the start of the school year. And not just for COVID, but for all your child's age-specific vaccine recommendations. If you'd like to see the fully released guidance from MMSD, you can visit our website at channel3000.com.
McKenna, thank you. The situation at the Mexican border was a topic of a roundtable discussion called by Senator Ron Johnson in Milwaukee today. Senator Johnson, who is a member of the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, said he wanted to hear about what he called the failures of the Biden administration. Senator Johnson, who's up for re-election this year, invited border security leaders, immigration experts, and the parent of a teen who died of a fentanyl overdose back in 2014. It is primary day in 2 key red states, Alaska and Wyoming, where Congresswoman Liz Cheney is in the political fight of her life. Cheney, the vice chair of the January 6th committee, is one of former President Trump's most vocal Republican critics. She is trailing in the polls behind her Trump-backed opponent, attorney Harriet Hageman. Hageman has falsely claimed the 2020 election was rigged. Cheney is expected to deliver a speech tonight saying she believes Trump is a threat to American democracy. She has also not ruled out another run for office, including a possible 2024 presidential bid. And up in Alaska, former governor and vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin is hoping to make a political comeback with Donald Trump's endorsement. Palin's name appears on the ballot twice, once to replace Alaska Congressman Don Young, who died in March, and for a two-year term that begins in January. News from the White House. First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive now for COVID-19. Officials say she started to show cold-like symptoms last night. Although she tested negative on a rapid test, a second PCR test did come back positive. The First Lady, fully vaccinated, double boosted. She'll be taking Paxlovid and is isolating from her staff and others for at least 5 days. President Biden continues to test negative after contracting COVID last month. New at 5, President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law today. Democrats say it will lower energy and health care costs, but Republicans are calling it a tax spending spree. Natalie Brand takes a closer look at the measure.
President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law Tuesday, calling the mammoth climate, health, and tax legislation historic.
Let me say from the start, with this law, the American people won and the special interests lost.
Billed as the nation's biggest ever single climate investment, it directs nearly $400 billion in climate and energy programs, including tax credits and incentives, to cut emissions by roughly 40% over the next 8 years. Fred Krupp of the Environmental Defense Fund says the money comes at a crucial time.
We're at a tipping point where the adoption of electric cars, electric trucks, solar, wind power, battery storage, is almost there, but these incentives will get us there.
With less than 3 months to November's midterm elections, the president plans to hit the road in the coming weeks to explain what's in the landmark legislation. Democrats say the new law will reduce costs for seniors by expanding Medicare's power to negotiate the price of prescription drugs, though initially starting in 2026, affecting only 10 medications.
The motion is adopted.
The bill passed with no GOP support. Nonpartisan analysts say it's not likely to do much to put a dent in the high inflation Americans have faced.
Democrats, more than any other majority in history, are addicted to spending other people's money, regardless of what we as a country can afford.
Democrats say the legislation will pay for itself and cut the federal deficit by raising revenue through increased tax enforcement and a 15% minimum corporate tax. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And the legislation is also set to cap out-of-pocket costs for prescription drugs to $2,000 a year for Medicare recipients by the year 2025. Well, this summer weather continue into the weekend. Julian has your answer next. Plus, a wave of car thefts continues to plague drivers here in Madison and across the country. How social media played a role in these thefts. And later, dozens of refugees from Afghanistan have made Wisconsin their home. We'll check in with one family 1 year after leaving their homeland. That's tonight at 6. The markets with mixed results in Tuesday trading as the Dow gains more than 239.5 points. The Nasdaq falls 25.5. The S&P adds 8. We'll be right back.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor. I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work. We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
Everything here is American made.
But it's tough competing with China.
Ron Johnson's making it tougher. Johnson pushed for special tax breaks for outsourcing corporations.
But voted against tariffs and sanctions on China's unfair trade practices.
And when Johnson's big corporate PAC donor announced plans to create jobs outside Wisconsin, he defended them.
It's not like we don't have enough jobs here in Wisconsin. The biggest problem.
Senator Johnson, stop making it tougher on us.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. So join us on air, online, and in your village.
And take time for kids.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission products. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We do better when our clients do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
A new Chevy is the smart way to hit the open road this summer. The smart way to road trip and seek new adventures. Go a little farther this summer in a new Chevy. Find new get up and go, find new roads. Enjoy the open road and make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2022 Equinox models. Plus, get 0% financing when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
A mother makes a tough decision to have her infant vaccinated today. Why she felt it was necessary and how a local museum is making it a little easier. That's coming up tonight at 6. On a mission to rescue and rehabilitate birds of prey.
You're just the underdogs, you know, you're just rooting for them.
Mark Kane shows you how these breathtaking birds are getting a second life in hopes of one day soaring to freedom again. Thursday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
We have profiled how Hyundai and Kia vehicles have been specifically targeted by thieves in our area. Well, that all started with a video shared on social media triggering that spike in crime. Police around the country are blaming this surveillance video that shows a group of juveniles pulling up in a stolen Hyundai Elantra and then breaking into a white Kia Sportage. Minutes later, the group takes off. Now, authorities say the video posted on social media shows thieves called the Kia Boys who raced the stolen vehicles. Now, in the Chicago area, thefts of Kias and Hyundais are up 700% since last summer.
This is not just a minor anomaly where you have this type of vehicle is slightly more susceptible than others. No, this one's off the chart.
The car makers say the thieves are targeting vehicles that start with a key instead of a fob, and they're looking for cars without engine immobilizers. As was given out here locally, authorities continue to suggest owners get steering wheel locks to deter thieves. As the historic drought further plagues the West, drying up the Colorado River, federal officials are now imposing restrictions on who can use the water from the Colorado. Isabel Rosales reports.
Millions of Americans bracing for painful water cuts.
If we don't get water, how can we keep going?
A mega drought draining rivers and lakes throughout the Southwest. Lake Mead, the nation's largest reservoir, at its lowest water level on record. The drought threatening hydropower at the Hoover Dam, now approaching its lowest point to be able to produce power. Upstream at Lake Powell, water levels just 44 feet away from stopping hydropower generation.
Crops are dying, the desert is drying. This goes all across the Southwest.
And for the first time ever, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation announcing a Tier 2 water shortage for the Colorado River starting in January.
It's killing us. You're at nature's mercy.
It's raising alarms in several states, looking to cut up to 25% of the river water usage at the Bureau's request for now.
I drive around and I look at empty canals. Literally, I burst into tears over it a couple of times because I'm thinking, it's just such a hopeless situation.
Across the West and South, 40 million Americans are under heat alerts this week. And if it's hot now, scientists warn it could get even worse in the next 30 years. More than 100 million Americans could face a heat index above 125 degrees during the hottest days of the year, according to climate research nonprofit First Street Foundation. Their study found an extreme heat belt would stretch from Texas to the Great Lakes. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
The federal government says it'll be further reducing water deliveries from the Colorado River to the state of Arizona by 1/5 starting in January. Let's get a look at our certified most accurate weather. Julian Seawright joins us. Julian?
And that's one thing we're going to be watching for is how the effects of that ridge, which is bringing in plenty of dry conditions to our friends to the west, is going to be impacting us. Well, as of right now, since the ridging action, you can kind of see just where the ridge is kind of set up for us, as it has the dip mainly across the Great Plains and parts of the Midwest, but the areas just north of it where we see that low pressure system, which has been funneling some storms just north of Minneapolis and northern parts of Minnesota, well, we are going to be looking at that system to start to track its way into the upper Midwest and bring in some rain by the time we get into the back end of this work week. So yes, it's gorgeous out. It's nice to have some quiet and cool weather, but this ridge in itself is also going to be the reason we're going to start to see a change up as this starts to dip into the Midwest and bring in some chances of some storms rolling in our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and potentially Monday. And we can't rule out Tuesday just yet as of right now either. But taking a look forward today, this evening, we are on the dry side. It's going to feel pretty nice throughout the rest of our evening hours, and we'll see lots of quiet conditions for us. Temperatures will drop overnight into those 50s, and by the time we get into tomorrow, we'll start to see those 60s rolling back in and those 70s as well. Still not a whole lot in terms of cloud cover is going to stick around for us, and by the time we transition from Wednesday night into our Thursday, again, it's still going to be rather quiet, nice and cool, still into the lower 60s, areas into the upper 50s for most of us, but really not going to be seeing much until we get into our Thursday nights, where we do have a chance of overnight hours bringing in some rain for us. But over the next 2 days, we're not expecting much, but going into the overnight, transitioning into our Friday afternoon, well, that's when that system is going to start to reach its way in from the north and push itself across the upper Midwest and bring in our rain chances. Now, our best chance to see the rain is still not in total agreement, but we are looking for our best time to be around the 6 o'clock hour, or specifically into our Friday afternoon and Friday evening, as we're going to see that showers just really develop and train itself across much of the Wisconsin area and even areas in northern Illinois throughout much of our Friday, our Saturday, and have a chance of seeing some more going into Sunday and for our Monday as well, is one thing we're going to be watching for. But still, over the course of the 4 days of the event, some areas could see an inch, inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches, but closer towards the Illinois state line could see a couple of spots that may see some heavier rainfall totals around 3 inches. So just note that we're going to have some soggy conditions as we get into the weekend for us. So definitely soak up what we have now, which is dry, mild, and just flat out gorgeous. But this weekend, starting from Friday, going into our Sunday, and even possibly next Monday, things are going to get a bit wet. Now, taking a look at what we have from our 10-day forecast, as I mentioned, temperatures are going to stay rather seasonable. We'll start to see a little bit of warmth going into next week for potentially Wednesday and even for Thursday, but overall things are going to stay pretty steady. But we're going to watch going into the back end of next week if we could potentially see a bit more warmer temperatures rolling in for us. But overall, things are going to stay rather calm until we get into the weekend, Eric.
Julian, thank you. Next, at 5 thousands of Elvis fans gather at Graceland to honor the king of rock and roll 45 years after his death. Stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When it's hot, all you want is some relief. Relief from the heat outside, relief from sleepless nights, and relief from big electric bills. Even your air conditioning unit needs some relief. So when you wrap your home with our premium injection foam, it's like putting your entire house in a cooler. It keeps the hot air out, the cool air in, and your electric bills lower. And right now, when we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman who helped build a great Wisconsin company and created thousands of jobs. Tony Evers, Joe Biden, they're two peas in a pod. Both career politicians and way over their head, failing the country and the state of Wisconsin. That's why I'm running. We need to have strong, proven executive leadership in Madison that can get things done and make this state as great as it can be.
We're not a bird or a plane. We are a mighty credit union, born of thrift and laser focused on the interests of our members. Harnessing the combined power of more than 144,000 members and businesses, we work to put money back where it belongs, into your community and into your pocket, working tirelessly to help you pursue your dreams. Isn't that super? Join the movement at dupaco.com/super. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Enjoy the open road and make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado pickups. Plus, get 2.89% financing when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Mornings can be a little crazy. Whether you're rushing to get your teeth brushed or cleaning up after breakfast before the bus gets here, Tuscany faucets make it easy. You don't have to sacrifice style for function. Tuscany's dependable, so there's nothing to worry about. And when there's finally time to relax, you can focus on doing what you love. Tuscany, quality you can see. Only at Menards.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Today marks the 45th anniversary of the death of Elvis Presley. And this week, thousands of Elvis fans from around the world attended a candlelight vigil outside his home in Memphis. The 42-year-old died suddenly from heart failure back in 1977 after a battle with health issues, including a dependency on prescription drugs. Fans lined up outside the King of Rock and Roll's Graceland home to honor the legend. They also walked to his gravesite to pay their respects. Elvis's ex-wife, Priscilla Presley, thanked the crowd for their support.
I want to thank all of you again. This has been an amazing journey for us. And I know for all of you who have come from different cities, different states, you make it here. Canada! Wow! All right. And many of you have been coming here year after year after year. God bless you. Truly, God bless you.
The celebration of life will wrap up on Thursday. And we're back with a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Have you ever experienced this view? Hi, Andrew Larson here. With Gutter Shutter, you'll never have to experience it again. Please give up this dangerous chore and protect your home's foundation with Gutter Shutter, the strongest, most durable, maintenance-free gutter on the market. Over the past 15 years, my team has installed thousands of maintenance-free gutter systems across South Central Wisconsin. We'd love to come out and show you what Gutter Shutter can do for you and your home, but most importantly, keep you safe and off that ladder. So call today for a free estimate.
Surgenian's 92-year history means you pay $92 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 18-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Clean, safe, fun. I wanted it all when we needed daytime care for Mom. Oh, Grace's new adult day center is so nice. Now she goes twice a week while I'm at work and loves it.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Made in America is more than just a slogan. It's smart policy. When we manufacture things here, our shelves are stocked, and it creates jobs you can raise a family on. Like my parents had. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I'm tired of the excuses from millionaires running the Senate. I'll bring manufacturing back here, so folks like you who actually earn your paychecks finally get a fair shot. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
After 35 years in business on Madison's West Side, Capital Car Cleaners is celebrating by offering all our customers $10 off an interior or exterior detail or $20 off a full-service detail. We detail all cars, pickups, SUVs, motorcycles, and full-size vans. Call today to set up an appointment at our Watts Road location and get $10 off an interior or exterior detail or $20 off a full-service detail. Check out our website at capitalcarcleaners.com.
Capital Car Cleaners, auto detailing
at its best.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Well, check out this video, a massive water spout. This was off the Florida northwest coast near Destin this morning. Thunder and lightning rocking that area. And while smaller water spouts are much more common, ones of this magnitude typically occur during very severe thunderstorms and mimic general qualities of a tornado, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. They are more dangerous, of course, if they travel over land. Luckily, this one didn't make it that far. That is a big one, is it not, Julian?
That is huge. That's actually one of the more impressive ones that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning on Twitter, and I was like, ooh, I'm glad that we get to talk about that.
Wild video there. Final check of our forecast.
And we do not have to worry about water spouts. Instead, we're going to have gorgeous weather for the next couple of days, but then bring out the rain gear, folks. I know we've had it away for a little while, but Friday through Monday, we're going to be expecting to see some wet and soggy conditions for us. But the good news is, at least we're still in the 70s, Eric.
Julian, thank you. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. The CBS Evening News is next. Stay tuned.